Welcome to Mind Prosperity. So great to have you guys back. Today we're going to speak about the best and the worst treatment for OCD. I have done a few videos on OCD. I think there are two others that you can go check out on my YouTube if you want to know more about what OCD is, the 8 different types of OCD. I also did one on my Theonos live training YouTube. It's another YouTube channel that I have on the difference between religious OCD and hearing the voice of God. So if you guys want to go check that one out. So today, this is the last video I'm going to do on OCD. And today we're going to speak about the best and the worst treatment for OCD. Now, this video is just for educational reasons. If you are struggling with OCD itself or OCD symptoms, I want to encourage you to go see somebody. I also do a treatment and individual sessions with people. So if you want to contact me about that, you are welcome to do that. So I myself struggle with OCD. I'm definitely much better. And the reason I struggled for so many years and I didn't get better is because I didn't know I have it. I have what they call ROCD, which stands for Relationship OCD. And you will also see on the video that I had on the 8 subtypes of OCD exactly what that is. But basically, it is OCD that has to do with relationships, not just romantic relationships, but different areas of relationships. And one thing about OCD, and one thing that is very predominant in my life, is reassurance seeking. I will go to people and ask them for reassurance a lot. So I remember before I knew I had it, I was working in this company or this organization. And a person that became really, really good friends of mine became one of my best friends. I was working with him in an office at that time. And I remember I asked him a question, and he was busy working on his laptop. And as I asked him the question, he was just sitting back like this, and he went like this. And he sat like this for a while. And I got extremely upset with him. I'm like, why don't you just answer me? I asked you a question, and now you're just sitting there thinking it's not a difficult thing. It's kind of like, just give me your answer. And he looked at me with these strange eyes, and he said to me, it's not that I don't know how to answer. It's just, this is probably the 6th time you've asked me in the last half hour. And I'm trying to get words that are different than the words I've used before, because obviously you didn't get me the first few times. So what I was doing is I was asking him the same thing over and over again. And he was thinking like, what is a different way I can explain it to him? What is a different way I can say it to him? Because the way I'm saying it is probably wrong, but the way he said it wasn't wrong. It's not that I misunderstood him. It's that with OCD and with relationship OCD, like this reassurance seeking from people that you are in relationship with, is kind of very overwhelming. Sorry. So OCD stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. So obsessions are thoughts, and compulsions are actions you are doing to like relieve the emotional intensity of these thoughts. If you want to know more about what OCD is, go watch the other videos. I do explain it very well there. So today we're going to look at the treatment. Okay, so it's this obsessive thoughts, compulsive behaviors, to minimize or to relieve the emotional pressure and to relieve the anxiety that these thoughts causes. And I also said in the other videos that the compulsions will relieve, or the compulsions are the actions that you do. They will relieve the anxiety for a while, but it actually makes it worse the more compulsions you do. So let's look at the treatment. Some of the worst things you can do, or one of the worst things you can do for OCD, is to go dig deeper. I know in some areas and like in many cases where it comes to healing in mental health, digging deeper is good. Understanding where this comes from so that you can deal with the root is a good thing. But because a lot of OCD is biological, and because people with OCD has these obsessive thoughts, trying to dig deeper can worsen the anxiety, because it takes you it kind of takes you deeper in that overthinking thoughts, in that pressured thoughts. And also to say to somebody, go back to your childhood and go figure out where this happened. And I do believe very strongly in environment, and I do believe that environment can cause such thoughts and can have a very big influence in the development of OCD. I don't know if everybody believes that, but I definitely believe the environment plays a very big role. So having an idea where something comes from, say for instance, religious OCD. Religious OCD is where your obsessive thoughts are like, am I sinning? Did I ask for forgiveness enough? Did God forgive me? Am I going to hell? And the compulsions will be like praying the same prayer over and over again, and asking your pastor for forgiveness and or for counseling over and over again for the same thing. So that could have happened, at a young age in a church. And if you are aware of that, it can be a good thing and it can help with treatment. But sitting and obsessing the whole time, where does it come from? Where does it come from? Where does it come from? Can worsen OCD. So the best treatment for OCD is cognitive behavioral therapy, and this is something that helped for me a lot, especially a subtype of CBT. Cognitive behavioral therapy is ERP, and I'm going to explain that now. But cognitive behavioral therapy is cognitive speaks about your thinking and your thoughts. Behavioral speaks about your actions. Now remember, OCD, the O is obsessive thoughts. C is the compulsive behaviors. So cognitive behavioral therapy helps you to deal with the thoughts, helps you to deal with the behavior. So when you have intrusive thoughts, you don't want to do the behavior. That is what CBT with OCD is all about. Okay, so let me use an example. I cannot actually remember what I asked my friend that day. But say, for instance, I asked him, and this might actually be true, because one thing with a relationship OCD is you're questioning yourself, am I in the right relationship? So say, for instance, I was in the wrong relationship. Say, for instance, I was in a relationship that time. I'm going to go to the wrong relationship now. Say, for instance, I was in a relationship that time, and I asked my friend 6 times, do you think this girl is right for me? Do you think I'm in a good relationship? Do you think this is good for me, bad for me? So a person with a relationship OCD will think the whole time, am I in the right relationship? What if I'm marrying the wrong person? And the way they relieve it, the compulsions they do to relieve it, one of them, and for me this was a big one, is reassurance asking. Do you believe I'm in the right relationship? Am I with the right girl? Do you think she's a good fit? The best thing to do, and this is where CBT comes in, when you think the thought, am I in the right relationship? You can think it, but don't go into the compulsion. Meaning, don't ask the question. Don't ask the person, am I doing the right thing? Another thing you can do, or another subtype of OCD, is when you have this fear that you will get sick. So you will wash your hands like people. I don't personally have this one, but some people who have it will wash their hands many times a day. They won't shake people's hands because they're afraid this virus will come upon them. So what they will do in CBT is they will have the thought, what if a virus just came on me? And then they will want to do this compulsion of washing their hands. So the best thing to do will be to, maybe a virus did come upon my hands, but I'm not gonna wash my hands. I'm not gonna go into the compulsion. And that might feel very, very uncomfortable in the beginning, because the compulsion relieves the anxiety for a while. But like I said, it takes it back up again, and it worsens it the more you do it. So with treatment for OCD and with the CBT treatment, you actually want to sit with the anxiety and you don't want to relieve it. I know this sounds like very counterproductive for some people who don't know OCD or don't know the treatment well. But what you want to do is you actually want to lift the anxiety, and you want to stay in that state so that your body can become comfortable with it, and that's where the anxiety is gonna go down. So a subtype of CBT that works very, very well for OCD is ERP, or exposure and response prevention. So the best way I can explain exposure and response prevention is, say for instance, somebody has arachnophobia. Arachnophobia is where they have a fear of spiders. So say, for instance, somebody has arachnophobia, and now you do ERP with them. Exposure means you expose them to the spider. This can be a real live spider. This can be a dummy or replica of a spider, or it can be in somebody's imagination. So a lot of ERP they use to say to somebody, just imagine you're having a spider in your hand, and it's okay. Or they can take a real spider and they can expose the person to the spider in front of them and say, okay, there is a spider, look at it, sit with the anxiety until you become more comfortable with the spider. Later they can say, rub the spider's back. Sit with the anxiety. It's good that you feel the anxiety for now. Until you become used to rubbing the spider's back. Later you can hold the spider. I know it's going to be you're going to feel very anxious in the beginning, but until you become comfortable with the spider. So what you want to do, and this is just an example of ERP, for somebody that has arachnophobia. So with somebody that has OCD, when you have the obsessive thought, you expose yourself to that thought. You expose yourself to that obsession. And to say, okay, the obsession makes me anxious. The thought makes me anxious. But I'm going to sit with this anxiety and become comfortable with it, but I'm not going to do the compulsion, not going to do the action. Meaning, maybe I felt like some virus just came on my hands, and I feel anxious about it, I feel worried about it, but I'm not going to wash my hands. I'm going to sit with that until it feels comfortable. Now, another thing that kind of actually works well with OCD is being sarcastic with yourself. So say, for instance, in my case, when I felt like I was dating the wrong girl, I should have said to myself something like, yeah, maybe you are marrying the wrong girl, or maybe you are dating the wrong girl. Maybe you will marry her and she'll be the wrong person, and it will ruin your life. But it's okay. Just don't do the compulsion. Or you can say something like, yeah, maybe your hand just got a virus on it. Maybe this virus will make you very sick. But it's okay. Just don't do the compulsion. So it's kind of like almost like you are a bit sarcastic with yourself in that sense. Now this is only for people who has OCD. Okay, this is not saying, go marry the right person and get viruses and stuff. But it's kind of like telling yourself with the OCD, it's okay. It will be okay. Don't do the compulsion. So this is how CBT and ERP will help a person in OCD. Okay, before I get to the next point, I want to ask you to like, to subscribe to this video, and if you believe it will help people, to share it to them. And if you have any other questions, please leave it to us in the comment section. Like I said, this was just to give you information about the best treatment for OCD. But if you believe you have OCD, go to somebody, let them help you with CBT and ERP. The other point I want to get to is, it's very exciting news. I have this book available on Amazon called The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. It speaks about mindset. It speaks about emotional intelligence and how the interaction between mindset and emotional intelligence can help you to live a brilliant life, because your mind is electric. Your thoughts send out electric charges, and your heart or your emotions is magnetic. And therefore, the way you think and the way you feel will influence your life in a magnificent way. And this is what I'm speaking about in this book. The first part of the book, or the first half of the book, is about emotional intelligence and how to become emotionally intelligent, how to deal with your emotions, how emotions work. And the second part of the book is about mindset. So you can go check out this book on Amazon, The Art of a Mental Breakthrough. And then I'm looking forward to see you guys in our next video. We love you, and goodbye.